And welcome back to our 90-day kickoff series where we are focused on making sure that you are ready for 2026 season. My name is Pam Grace and welcome to Clear Shift Solutions. Let's get it and let's go. This platform is really great for health-based businesses. That's who I directly speak to in Maryland or in the DMV, but this information is also applicable to you just at large, okay? And so in an event that this information that I share resonate with you and you're outside the Maryland, DC, or Virginia area, we're more than happy to serve you, okay? So let's get it and let's go. All right. Is your business compliant and healthy? That is the core topic that we're discussing today. So, compliance is the floor, health is the ceiling. So, when I look at compliance, that is your foundation. That is the foundation. Too many agencies think that they're legally aligned and they're doing well, but compliance only keeps you out of trouble, but it does not maintain or build momentum. Okay. It's not about let's fix the burnout. It's about how do we prevent the turnovers and the echoes and the noise, right? So let's just break this down. Again, compliance is the floor, it's the foundational aspect of your business. That's why you complete your articles of operations. That's why you have, operating agreements. That's why you have succession plan. That's why you have business plan. That's why you have policy and procedures. So that's why you have insurance, right? That's why you have all these things before you open the doors of your business, before you can even start publicizing your business. You have to get this licensure, etc. That starts to build the bricks of the compliance floor, okay? The compliance foundation, if I can say this better, okay? Then you want to go ahead and build on top of that, right? So maybe you have policies and procedures, but now this big booklet that you have on policy procedures, it has to come alive now in your business and your day-to-day practice. So many companies have books, have they may have SOPs. Some people don't even have standard operating practice, standard operating procedures for their business on how to do this particular activity, how to do this, how to do that. They don't even have that. And so they're hiring people. And yes, they may have the background or tools, but they don't know how to properly do it in your business. And you don't have the capacity or the paperwork of the foundation to tell them how you want things done in your company, right? We want you to bring those skill sets, but this is how we want you to do it here. And so I want you to understand that it's about getting legally aligned, but then also how do you build your business for long-term health, okay? Not just opening your business, not just paying for your LLC or even paying for trademarks or even patents or all these different things that you're paying for. What is the business at large, okay? So let's just go ahead and break it down. What does compliance actually mean? So by now, those who are in Maryland should have already aligned themselves with clarity around HB 39. You should have already completed your W 2 classification, so changing people from 1099 to W 2. You should already have automatically being calculated your payroll taxes, etc. You should already have a system for tracking overtime, so a good time tracking system. You should have a good scheduling system, right? So you're making sure, hey, if you're not paying overtime in your business, that's a part of your policies and procedures, you need to make sure you have a system or a way to alert you when people are going over, certain ways to track it so that your policies are effective and then they're showing out in your day-to-day your work, your day-to-day productivity. Labor laws, right? So when it comes to like sick leave, harassment training, PTO tracking, OSHA rules, etc., you want to make sure you have that, right? And then you can expound on that as well. Documentation, effective and to-date employee files. Do you know people's CPR and first aid is expiring? Do you know when their licensure is expiring? Do you have alerts, right? Well, I don't care if it's a manual Excel spreadsheet or it's a robust system. You need to be tracking this, right? Do our people's driver's licenses, et cetera, expired? Tracking certain things and making sure your policy handbook and employee handbook is up to date. Okay, it is best practice to update your employee handbook on a yearly basis. Okay, you need to be reviewing these books. You need to be reviewing your compliance foundation. Just because you opened your business 10 years ago, that don't mean okay, now we got everything, we're approved, and we don't look at this again. No, guys, you have to continuously look at your documentation to make sure one, are we in alignment? Are we doing what we say that we're doing? If we are doing, are we doing it effectively? Where are we winning and where are opportunities for improvement, right? What has changed in some of the laws or regulation or compliance requirements? What have changed in our industry so far and where are things trending, right? So you want to be always mindful and making sure that you are aware of everything that is going on in your business, okay? Again, your business is, yes, your LLC, but then it's also your industry, it's also the government and what's happening in the government, it's also what's happening in the world. All that impacts your business. Those are external factors that have a direct or indirect impact in your business. Okay. So, what does health look like? So, I talked about what compliance actually means. Now, what does health look like? Health look like systems that reduce stress. Okay. So, documented SOPs, refined workflows. This is what I'm saying. Do people know what they're doing? Is the workflow efficient? Is there ease in the process? Remember, flow is like this: flow. So if there's an interruption in the flow, whatever that looks like, then we need to address that because that interruption could cause us delays. It can cause us money. It can cause us staff. It can cause us clients, right? It can cause a bad reputation. It can cause frustration and tension. And so you want to make sure that you have systems that reduce stress in place in all aspect of your business, from the person who is a CEO and the owner all the way down to the person who is a cleaner in your company. Okay. Leadership development, making sure you have regular meetings, feedback loops. I said this in a previous video, guys. You need to be getting feedback from your staff, feedback from your clients, feedback from your vendors. Feedback is going to help you identify as a leader what needs to be improved. Also, you need to be giving feedback as well to your staff, and you need to be documenting your feedback, okay? Documenting what you discussed, what you shared, and then you also need to be measuring, is there improvements in this since feedback has been provided? What adjustments have been made? And then remeasuring your company from there. Growth plans. You need to be having growth plans for your staff, growth plans for your company, growth plans for different departments within your company, guys. Growth plans for you as a leader. How are you professionally refining and improving yourself? Whether you're getting doing different trainings to get your continuing education courses, whether you want to, hey, I want to learn more about marketing. Yes, I may be a nurse or a doctor, or maybe I may be a business person, but I need to learn marketing, right? And this is very important for my business. Just go get the training, go learn. Just because you get the training, that don't mean you have to be the one that does it, but at least you know how to measure performance, and you know how to set appropriate metrics for your business, and you know how to properly spend. A lot of times, training and knowledge help you make quality decisions as a business owner. Okay. Accountability. Again, key KPIs, key performance indicators. You must have that in your business. And you must be have that from the beginning when people come in, have that at the top of the year, looking at things quarterly, monthly, figure out the cadence of your accountability check-ins. Okay. You also want to look at audits, right? Auditing your business, the financial aspect of the business, professional performance. Okay, this is your job description. Okay, these are your job description. This is your our policies and procedures. This is the things that these are the workflows. These are the different things that need to have you do. And how are you doing across those measures, right? Check-ins. Check-ins don't always have to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. If you have a culture of regular communication and check-ins should be very should be very like easy, should be very easy, and should be the culture of your company. Again, you having tools that are tracking performance and where people are documenting their daily activities. I don't care if people are out on the field and caregivers on the field. They need to know they have a place that they're reporting and where people are monitoring, right? People need to be monitored. Unfortunately, people need to be monitored because if you don't monitor, you don't have good control over your business, okay? Moral morale, excuse me, and culture. Morale and culture. What is your current company culture? Is it aligned with what your vision is for your business? Okay. You can look at the company culture as like your internal brand. What is your internal brand in the company and what are people saying? What is there and you can kind of measure that softly from retention, from respect and communication, from support. How are people supporting each other across teams, right? Do different teams help out other teams? Are teams internally, like let's say the marketing team, how do they work together? Are they effective? Are they mission aligned, right? Are they aligned, mission aligned? And just like having that culture of like team player and we're in this together and we're all a part of this mission and this vision and we all have a part to play in it, and people taking their part seriously and understanding their contribution matters and their lack of contribution also matters and it has an impact, right? And so these are some of the things that I want you to again think about when you're thinking about health of your business, okay? So, just because you aren't in violation doesn't mean that people aren't suffering, okay? And so you really want to take a good assessment of how are people feeling about the work? Do you have the right people doing the right work? Sometimes people misclassify or misplace different people in wrong roles, okay? You need to know your talent and where people are strong and leverage your strengths, right? You want to leverage strengths. And so making sure that people are properly aligned is also going to be very important, okay? Some red flags of an unhealthy business. Oh, everyone's tired. If everybody is exhausted and have no gas in the tank, where are we going? If your gas tank is on E, where are we going? You can't go on a trip on an E gas. You cannot go on a trip. And then as you're driving, if you attempt a trip, you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, how much more can I go? How many miles do I have left? Am I going to break down? Like you're going to be on edge. Think about that as your business, right? If people are in your business and everyone is feeling tired, we're going nowhere. Okay. And now not only are we going nowhere because we're not going nowhere physically, but our mind, we're saying, hey, we should be in DC by now. Why are we still here? Then there's that frustration. You as an employer, as a leader, must know everybody's wellness levels and also understand the energy of your company and what you are doing to improve that. You must make sure that everybody's filled up because they filled up and they're on full, they got energy, they got momentum, they got strength, they're ready to go, they got their game plan, their map, and they're going on their map, right? And as they're driving, there may be some debris or they may see something. Let's say one day I was driving, I saw a whole tire on the road. I'm like, how is a tire on the street, right? So they need to be alert because there could be unexpected things that happen on route to where they're going that they need to be able to make quick adjustments. Do they have the strength and capacity to make those quick adjustments? Are they alert? Are they agile? Are they locked in? Are they focused? Or are they distracted? Because if you're distracted and you're driving and you don't see that tire on the road, guess what? Now you're in an accident and so on, right? And so you also want to be able to anticipate other people's behaviors around you. You may have some people that are driving. You might be driving your car and somebody's in the opposite lane not paying attention and they're veering into your lane, right? You have to be able to make quick um quick mitigation, tactics. You have to be, how can I mitigate risk quickly, right? What can I do? Oh my gosh, something's happening. Think fast, think well, and keep it going. Okay. If there's consistent turnover, a red flag. Okay. I wish I had a red flag. Red flag. Okay. No clear organizational chart. Nobody knows who leadership. We don't have the full organizational chart of everybody and what they're doing, etc. Hierarchy, who they need to go to for what. You need to make sure that that's clear. No onboarding plan. There's no onboarding plan. There's no ongoing training. There's no check-ins, things like that. Red flags. And if there's fires everywhere every day you gotta like, oh my gosh, somebody called out. Oh my gosh, this happened, that happened. This person is not showing up for work. This going on, that going on. If you have fires that you're trying to extinguish every day, that means you have red flags. Okay. So understand that it's not just about compliance, and it's not just about barely surviving. Okay. You want to thrive in your business. You want to thrive. You must thrive. You must have a healthy business. Okay. So if you feel like your team is out of alignment, that you have a structure, but you don't trust the structure, or it's outdated. Okay. Or if you feel like, hey, we don't have enough benefits, um, or I don't have a system to really assess the health of my team, or to make sure that my team is healthy, right? And these are things you really, really need to consider. Okay, so one thing I can share with you is that ClearShift Solutions offer free consultations. I highly encourage you to have one. We're going into 2026. If your HR is not on point, your business is struggling. If you do not address the red flags that you've identified in 25, and you're going to take that to 26, you're not on point, right? You need to get on point. And this is a perfect time, okay? So contact us at ClearShift Solutions. We help RSAs, residential service agencies, home care, health-based businesses, whether you're a private practice, etc. We can help you with both legal compliance and organizational health, okay? So reach out to us and let's have a discussion. Let's do a quick light audit, and then let's just get to work and create a plan for success for you and your business. All right. All right, guys. Until next time, don't forget, it is time for a clear shift. See you later.